Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Simple Politics. So today I want us to talk about two things. I want us to talk about the MK, which the MK has promised to strike or to do a peaceful protest rather, because I remember Mzanele Manyi specifying that they will do a peaceful protest. I'm going to get into that now. I want us to also talk about Panyaza Lesufi. As you would know, that Panyaza Lesufi has been enduring a lot of insults from the DA, a lot of propaganda, media propaganda, a lot of Shem, they've been doing the most. I know I've been speaking about this Panyaza thing. I think I've mentioned him in two of my videos already. But the thing is, this thing of Panyaza, it's ongoing. So Panyaza has come out and he has defended himself. Because I think the last time I spoke about it, I was referring to the things that he has written down. So now he spoke about it at length, and then he was also like on an interview. Unlike when he's just writing down like a few sentences, it's obviously different. So I do want us to get into what he has said. So yeah, let me speak about Panyaza first and what's going on, and attach a video of what he said when he was defending himself, and then get into the MK, right? Get into the NK as to what's really happening, like what is going on. And I made a video before. I did mention that Dr. Hlophe has lost the case. The DA has successfully gotten the court to interdict him from sitting into the JSC. So I think I need to summarize this JSC thing again, make you understand why is Judge John Hlophe not allowed to sit to begin with. Why is he not allowed to sit? What has he done? Basically, what has he actually done that has made him so like so dangerous that he can't sit there, right? And yeah, so I was just listening to a clip of him this morning where he was with the MK guys that are supporting him, and he was wearing the MK shirt. And then apparently the judge said that they will not be able to give out a judgment because he's wearing a regalia, and they are feeling intimidated. So he was just turning around showing us, Uguti, how could you feel intimidated just because I'm wearing a shirt of my party? How is that even possible? So yeah, anyway, I want us to get into that. Just before I break it down for you, let me just introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Zizipolo Belwana. If you are seeing me for the first time, welcome to Simple Politics. Welcome to a platform where we break it down for you. We try to simplify it as much as possible. Sometimes when you are listening and they're using these big words, you tend to not understand what are they talking about. Okay, maybe you do understand, but you're like, I wonder, where did this start? How did it start? So this is a platform where we just give you perspective. Okay, you might not agree with me on everything. That's okay. That's really okay. But yeah, do subscribe so that you can get more. My analytics have shown me that 92 people that are watching, 92% of the people watching this platform, they are not subscribed. Everybody's watching J for free. They are not subscribed. Guys, it's free of charge. Please subscribe for me, okay? You're not going to make me rich. Just subscribe. All right, let's get into it. So, I want to play the clip of Panyaza Lesufi so that you guys can get to understand Uguti, what is he saying? Because the DA has been accusing Panyaza. They've been accusing Panyaza Shem that he's rogue. They've been accusing him that he's it's like he's not aligned with what's happening with the national ANC. First of all, they're giving the impression that the ANC is divided. Panyaza is leading the rogue unit, and then there's the national. So Panyaza is trying to clarify that no, we are not divided we are one ANC. Anything I say, anything I do, it is run past the national. I think what also the DA is trying to do now they are trying to make an impression out to the world or to us that they are still in control of what's happening. It's just that Panyaza is rogue. Otherwise, they are in agreement with the national ANC. Because if it happens that the ANC is going against everything that the DA believes in, then it means the DA has no control. Then it means that, so they are afraid. So they would rather separate Panyaza Lesufi from the entire ANC so that they give the impression that the ANC is still with them, is still on their side. That's what they are doing. So Panyaza has come out and explained to Kuti, in some of the meetings, you guys are going to hear for yourself, in some of the meetings that were even said, he was not even here. But now they are making this split or second ANC with his face. They are giving it his face now. Now he's the enemy. Yeah, the DA is very good at that, Kesan. They are very good. Okay, here's the video, guys. Let me not talk. Let me let you guys listen for yourself.
At 10 o'clock with the DA Federal Executive, Helen Zille, about what happened in Tshwane last week when Celia Brink was voted out as mayor in that motion of no confidence. I saw that she's now given the ANC an ultimatum. She says the ANC must vote with the DA to bring Celia Brink back, or the DA will no longer enter into any talks to save other municipalities. But there's an issue here that's also been confusing people, where Helen Zille last week says the national ANC had actually agreed with the DA, seemingly, on protecting Celia Brink and forming some kind of local government of unity in Tshwane. But then the ANC in Gauteng says, well, that's not necessarily the case, because the impression Helen is trying to create is that the Gauteng ANC is actually ignoring the advice of the national government. So I thought we should hear from the chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi, who joins us now on the line. Premier, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam. Are you well?
I'm all right.
I was on the road. Let me quickly park. So
no problem. While you park, while you park, Premier, just take a listen to also what Helen Zille had indicated to me this morning as we were pre-recording that conversation, that we're going to be playing all of it at 10 o'clock. It's basically repeating what she's been saying over the last few days, including in your interaction with her on social media. You were having good discussions with the African National Congress. They were also talking to Action SA. And then on voting day, they decide to vote with Action SA. What do you understand? What was happening behind the scenes in your negotiations?
Well, we were in very good and constructive discussions with the ANC, not only about Tshwane, but about several other metros as well. And the point was to stabilize those governments. We can't have a situation where there is one motion of no confidence after another, where there is enormous instability, which is terrible for the economy. And so we have been looking at getting stabilization agreements in several metros till the election of 2026. Now, suddenly the ANC went quiet and they didn't answer calls, and then I always know there's a problem. They're not phoning back or telling us anything because they've run into an internal problem, and that internal problem was Lesufi. And Panyaza Lesufi basically wants to go with Action SA. And what swung the ANC in the end, as I understand it, was that Lesufi argued that if the ANC went with Action SA, the ANC would get the mayor of Tshwane. And that if they went with the DA would keep Celia Brink as the mayor of Tshwane. Mm-hmm. So having the offer of the ANC mayor on the table, they decided to go with the ANC mayor offer on the table, and they forfeited all the other metros in the process, because we're now not going to have any of those discussions in the other metros until Brink is restored.
So that's what Helen Zille told me. We'll play that full interview after 10 o'clock. Premier Lesufi, is there a disagreement between the national ANC and the Gauteng ANC on how things should have transpired in Tshwane?
Not at all, Madam. Actually, I'm baffled by this attitude to indicate that there's a difference between us and the national leadership, and specifically my name. Just to be on record, Madam, in the last 10 days, I was not even in the country when this discussion about Tshwane was discussed. So for me to be dragged and be used as a ho-ho for the collapse of Tshwane or for the Councillor Brink to be recalled. It just baffles me. I was not there. I was not part of the discussion. I've never participated in discussion. Actually, contrary to popular view, I was following the deliberations that were happening in Tshwane from Germany on my social media networks. I never had a meeting with the national leadership. I never had a meeting with our provincial leadership, because when you are on leave, you leave those that need to run matters to run matters. So why my name is dragged, why I'm used as a ho-ho that didn't agree to this arrangement, it baffles me. But besides that point, Madimeja, which is something that the Democratic Alliance is missing. You remember the motion was tabled, I think, a month or so, Madimeja. And the leadership of the DA came to me before I left for Germany. They came to me. It was led by Solim Simang, Mayor Brink, and Mr. Nel. They requested to meet with me as the chair of the ANC so that we can postpone the motion and give them an opportunity to present a case on how they want to present an alternative on the issue of Tshwane. I met with them at a restaurant in Bedfordview, and this matter is not raised. And on the basis of them requesting to meet with me and requesting a postponement of the motion so that we can have discussions, probably they didn't tell their federal chair, Helen Zille, because in that meeting there were constructive discussions and we postponed the motion, and that's why the motion was not carried in the last council meeting. And that was on the basis of our discussions. That was led by myself. So I would have told them that I'm not ready, I'm not prepared, I don't want to discuss with them and all these things. But on the second matter, the decision for the motion to be voted in was taken by our national leadership. The National Working Committee, 2 weeks before I left for Germany, invited us as the provincial leadership and also invited us together with our regional leadership of Tshwane to say, come and present your scenarios. And we presented both scenarios. We presented the scenario that involved the DA. We presented the scenario that involved Action SA. And we then said, no, leave, we'll come back to you. And I'm told the national leadership came on the day the motion has been voted to say, support the motion. And that's how the motion was supported. I was not there. I was not part of the discussion. I didn't contribute to these discussions. But I don't understand this obsession of the DA and many journalists that are just dragging my name as somebody who's rogue, somebody who's not controllable, somebody that undermines the president of the country, and somebody that has an ambition to be a president of this country. I'm still wet behind my ears, Madimeja. I have no ambition at all to lead the ANC National. I have no ambition at all to be the president. Actually, this president was supported primarily by myself. The first rally President Ramaphosa addressed to indicate that is the running to be the president of the ANC was in Tembisa. And now I'm labeled an Alexander Mafia. The first, if you go to the last conference where President Ramaphosa was voted, who led the leadership of Gauteng into that to vote for Ramaphosa? It's myself. So this pseudo-analyst that automatically drag my name to say I'm a Alexander Mafia or Paul Mashadi in a corner, led by unfounded allegations by Helen Zille, baffles me. I really don't know why people can do this.
What's the next step? Because Helen Zille says Celia Brink is going to be put as a candidate for the DA when the new mayor is being voted in. In fact, Helen Zille says that you have a choice here as the ANC. Either you vote with the DA to bring Celia Brink back, or the DA will no longer enter into any talks to save other municipalities.
I'm glad it's explicit that those discussions are led by our General Secretary Fikile Mbalula and Makura. And we will get guidance from them. If they want the ANC to fill the candidate, the national leadership will tell us. If they want Action SA to be supported with a candidate, the national leadership will tell us. Or if they want any other person to stand as a mayor, we'll be guided by national leadership. We are one organization called the African National Congress. This obsession to try to create a division between ourselves as a province and national irritates me. And it's something that falls squarely within the Swat Khefar that was there, the Communist Party fear that was created now, the EFF fear that is created. And I've been accused that I'm very close to EFF, I'm close to MK Party, something that is far-fetched, that cannot be substantiated by evidence and cannot be supported by any discussion that I had, either with EFF or MK party. I remain a leader of the ANC. I'm under the command of our president called Ramaphosa, and I'm prepared to be guided by the national leadership of the ANC on any other part. I harbor no ambitions, and I harbor no ambitions to either don't support the national leadership on matters that affect how we relate to coalition government. Actually, it's the DA itself that has created the chaos that we're in, and they're trying to avoid that. They were running to Johannesburg without us. We're occupying opposition benches. What happened? They irritated PA, and that's how that government collapsed. They were running Ekurhuleni with EFF. What happened? They irritated EFF, and that government collapsed. They were running Tshwane without us. What happened? They irritated DA, and that municipality collapsed. The DA does not have the ability to manage relations, and the DA does not have the ability to respect those that are in coalition with. And check, after we've taken over, there is no mayor that was had a vote of no confidence, because we know how to manage relations, and we know how to ensure that everything runs smoothly when you have this kind of coalition government.
Okay, so as you've heard, okay, guys, as you've heard, yeah, you know, I mean, Abo Helen Zille, this is the same thing, and I'm glad I heard Panyaza mention it. I'm so glad he mentioned it. This is the same thing they did to Kubo EFF. The EFF has become the number one enemy. It's because DA gave them that face. The DA gave them that face. They gave them that face. But anyway, yeah, leave your comment at the bottom. Let me know what you think. Is Panyaza dealing with them accordingly? Are they really out for Panyaza? Or are they, or maybe is Panyaza lying rather? Let me give you all the options. Do you think Panyaza is not telling the truth? Also because DA wants to push the narrative that Usilia Brinks must be voted back to be the mayor. They are just not letting go, son. Okay, anyway, enough about all this Helen Zille. But one thing about Helen Zille, she will make your brain spin, son. So enough about that. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Then we'll take it from there. And also, I think we will take it once. I think it will unfold better once they have elected a new mayor. Because it seems like now ANC is also saying that they did not promise Action SA a mayor. So it seems like now Action SA might not be getting the mayor after all. So I think it's gonna evolve, or it's gonna be more clear once the new mayor has been elected, so that the DA can also let go and see that, okay, it's done for Celia Brink. That's just the end of it. Just let go. Yeah, so yeah, I think we will resume. Let's talk about this after they've elected a new mayor, and then we'll take it from there. Now I want us to talk about the MK. There's so much going on. So let me pull it back a little bit for perspective, for someone who doesn't know. Ukuthi, when did this start? What's happening exactly? Why is the DA against John Hlophe, Dr. John Hlophe, sitting? Why are they against John Hlophe sitting at the JSC? What is the JSC to begin with? And you know, I heard one of the DA, who is it now? I heard one of the DA people saying, Uguti, so Anditu John Hlophe was before the judge. He was Judge John Hlophe. And then he also had a doctor title. So, I mean, you can't be Judge Dr. Hlophe. He had to choose one. And because he was practicing as a doctor, he became Judge Hlophe. Now, they took away the title of judge. Now he's using doctor. So I heard someone say, yeah, he likes titles too much. Now that they've taken away judge, he wants to be doctor. He doesn't want to be doctor. That's his title. He worked. Guys, you don't sleep and wake up a doctor. You work for it. So this person was like, I don't know who's this person from the DA who said, I don't know who, man. It's one of their leaders. Yeah, he likes titles too much. Now he wants to be called a doctor. That is his title. That is his title. He worked for it. And then he said, yeah, he has never been called before. He used to be called judge, and now that he can't be judge anymore, he wants to be. Haibo. And I was thinking to myself, that is crazy. So you don't want him, you've taken away the title of him being a judge, and now you don't want him to be doctor. You want him to be Mr. Hlophe, but he has a title of being doctor. Haibo. He must use it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Anyway, let's get back to the point. So, okay, so Judge John Hlophe was a judge. He was the highest sitting judge, I think, at the High Court in Cape Town. And then he was removed, right? And the DA pushed out a motion that he must be removed, and after being removed, he must be impeached. Not only just removed, but removed off his title. He must not be a judge anymore, which they've successfully done that. And they said it's gross misconduct. When Judge Hlophe tries to explain, he says that he just said, yena, to the other judges that were there, he just said that madoda sithembele kuni. Of whatever unfairness that was happening, he just said sithembele kuni. So they took that and they ran with it. They ran with it. They removed him as a judge. They stripped him of all his title. He had to go home. He had no job. He was stranded. He was out. Right? Fine. MK comes back into the picture. I think this is what's making the DA angry. In fact, when I was listening to this, a little bit of me understands where the DA is coming from. I'm going to explain to you right now. I got a deeper understanding as I was listening to the explanation. So now MK comes into the mix. We vote. Judge John Hlophe gets into the MK. He is after he gets into the MK, he is made an MP, member of parliament, the leader, and then now this is what happens. The JSC court, it is a committee or a sitting that interviews judges that are gonna take the job, that are gonna be posted in jobs. So that JSC, it's there to interview the judges to see if are they suitable, do they have enough experience, wara. Now, out of all the people that are in the MK, John Hlophe is the most experienced. He's actually the most experienced judge. Well, when he was still a judge in South Africa, he's really, really, honestly, best education. I don't know where he studied, but overseas. So obviously, MK is not gonna take Umdu who doesn't have experience, who doesn't know anything, and put them in that thing. Obviously, they need to take someone with experience who knows what they're talking about, which is Judge John Hlophe. Now, they take John Hlophe, they put him in that. DA goes crazy. DA worked very hard to have him removed in the first place. Now, me listening, so for me, listening to it all this time, I thought that my perspective just changed this morning, by the way. This is why I'm making this video. Now, all this time, I thought that the DA didn't want Judge John Hlophe to sit because they were talking about the rule of law. I thought they didn't want him to sit because Judge Hlophe he's not a good example. For example, if you were a teacher and you were removed. If you were a teacher teaching at a high school or a primary school and you were removed because of your behavior and whatever, and they told you that you will never be able to teach kids again. You will never be able to teach kids again because of your behavior and what you've done. Then you were removed. And then you move from being a teacher, you become a lecturer. A lecturer that teaches, that lectures teaching. So now you become a lecturer to lecture the teachers so that they can go and teach and do the job that when you were removed from doing. I understand. I hope I make sense. So I thought it was about that it's not right. What is he going to teach the new judges because he was removed? So there's nothing that he can teach them. I thought the DA was coming from that angle. And then I realized, Diamond, there was another angle or an agenda. This agenda is Judge John Hlophe. Someone said this is a very, 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 very important job, because remember, Judge John Hlophe has got an influence who becomes a judge next, right? If there is one judge, this is an example. If there's a one judge who obviously doesn't believe in let's say one judge who's believes in white superiority, who believes in all those things, right? And then there's another, remember this judge have the same experience. And then there's another judge who believes in blacks, black empowerment, wara. So if there's one judge who believes in white superiority, all those things that the DA believes in, and then there's a black judge who has the same experience, who believes in empowering black people, wara. Who is Judge John Hlophe going to choose? Of course he's going to choose the black one. That's where the problem is now. So the problem is, it's not about, because when that person spoke, I got a different perspective. I realized it's not about what he has done. It's not about him being removed, but they say that it's such an influential role and it's such a big role for him to be put there. Yeah, but because his influence will make him lean towards a certain side, which might not be the side of the DA. That's what they are afraid of. They are afraid that his recruitment, and remember, he doesn't work alone. Yeah, I understand there are other people there, but I feel like they are so scared that his influence will lean towards a certain group of judges other than a certain group. Anyway, I've wasted a lot of time explaining this. So now they lost the case of Judge Hlophe having to sit in that sitting. So the MK party said, okay, fine, now that we've lost the case, can the sitting be postponed? Yeah. Can the sitting be postponed so that we get enough time and appeal as well and see what we can do? Can the sitting of the judges being appointed be postponed? And then Mzwane Lemanyi was at newsroom and he said that, yeah, if they go ahead anyway, because there's no rush, what are they rushing for? If they go ahead anyway and they do the sitting without John Hlophe, then they're going to protest. They're going to be forced to protest. They're going to do a peaceful protest. I don't know how peaceful it's going to be. They're going to do a peaceful protest, and because it's not right. What are they rushing for? Why can't they wait until they've resolved this? Until they've resolved this on and this back and forth, because the court has not said to Bana, Judge Hlophe is guilty, he must remove it permanently. They just interdicted him. They just prevented him. They are preventing him from sitting in that sitting. Yeah, so I think that's what now the MK is saying, Mana, let's get to the bottom of this before we make a ruling, before judges are appointed and Judge John Hlophe doesn't get a chance to sit in that sitting. Can we just sort this out? Yeah, but this morning I saw Ofikile Mbalula posted. I want to read it to you very quickly, guys. I've already wasted so much time in this video. So Fikile Mbalula posted, I want to read it to you quickly. He posted a media statement, a media release statement, where he said that the sitting will continue without Dr. John Hlophe. Let me read it to you very quickly, guys. As in now, widely reported in media, on 30 September 2024, the Chief Justice received a written request from the MK party to postpone interviews for judicial candidates scheduled to commence on Monday, 7 October, in the light of the interim order of the Western Cape High Court of 27 September, which interdicts Commissioner Dr. Mandlakaisa John Hlophe from participating in the interviews pending finalization of the review of the decision of the National Assembly to designate Commissioner Dr. Hlophe to the JSC. The JSC also received the applications of MK Party and Commissioner Dr. Hlophe to leave to appeal the interim interdict in order to the Western Cape Division High Court. MK Party requested a postponed on the ground that as a result of the interdict against Dr. Hlophe, the JSC is not properly constituted and required by Section 178 of the Constitution, and therefore decision the JSC will make the upcoming scheduled interview will be unlawful and invalid. The JSC met last night, 30 September, and decided that majority vote to decline the request for the postponement for the reason that the JSC is properly constituted because the court did not set aside the decision of the National Assembly to designate Commissioner Dr. Hlophe, and he therefore remains a duly designated member of JSC. And the judgment also states that JSC will be able to conduct its business while Commissioner Dr. Hlophe remains under the interdict order. The JSC also decided that the applications for leave to appeal the interim interdict order do not preclude it from proceeding with the interview as scheduled. The JSC accordingly confirms that the interviews for 54 shortlisted candidates to fill vacancies in the Supreme Court of Appeal, Land Court, Labor Court, these are the courts as judges, as a court. Come and look for them. It's the Land Court, the Labor Court, Labor Appeal Court, and various divisions of High Court. So these are very important courts. Yaqonda by Land Court, these are very so I saw Ufikile celebrating this morning saying ubana yeah, that's a good decision. Kaloku Ufikile iyamdiga MK. Yebo. So itile later ubana Judge Hlophe being interdicted to participate, it does not mean that the court, the JSC can't run its business. Funeke ngokulinda uJan Hlophe. Doesn't work like that. So I don't know, Shem. I do feel kind of banongati it's a little bit unfair, but you know what? It's the struggle. It's the same struggle, unfortunately, that the EFF has gone through as well. Like, you know, they're just gonna have to fight. They're gonna have to fight, unfortunately. So guys, this video is so long. I'm so sorry. Please guys, do continue and subscribe for me. If you have not subscribed, let me know what you think in the comment section. And thank you so much if you watched this video till the end. Thank you. The struggle continues, guys. Nothing is easy. It's not easy. Honestly, you need a united party. If you're going to be able to fight against the DA, the white media, everything, you need a united party. You need to be united to be able to fight these things. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. The struggle continues, guys. Aluta, Conti, Niwa. Oh, just before I go, guys. Hi, Bona, guys. At the bottom, there is a thank you sign, guys. Please buy me coffee because I deserve it. Like, I genuinely deserve it. Thank you. It continues, guys.